Welcome, welcome. I'd like to speak a little bit about detachment. You know, the nature of your being is not attached to anything. And the feeling of it is a feeling of wholeness and completeness. In the nature of the egoic mind, we spend so much time attached to so many different things, wanting outcomes to be a certain way. But your existence is unchanging, and your existence is always here, and your existence is purely whole and complete. In the phenomenal play of karma, there is a constant repeating of the things that the mind wants to change in a belief that something is wrong. But every single thing is the movement of consciousness. And in this journey into yourself, there is a letting go that naturally happens. Letting go of the entirety of the dream, allowing the dream to play as it does in the recognition that it is all being ordained by this wisdom. And while it will challenge your positions and your beliefs, when you are open and surrendered, it carries these positions and beliefs away so that there can be greater taste of the nature of yourself, which has no story or attachment. The sense of it is a sense of deep well-being. In the beginning, this is tasted when things are going well for the mind. But eventually, what is called forth in this journey is the letting go of the whole play, just letting it go, letting it be, where your interest lies in reality, in the feeling of your being, which is always here, never affected by anything. It's always here now, and it is attached or dependent upon nothing. So you begin feeling this sense of inner strength that is unaffected by any of the phenomenal events. And in this, the sense of joy, the sense of happiness, grows deeper. So when things happen that the mind does not like, as opposed to it being a problem, it is a process that is clearing you out when you are surrendered. And the clearing out leaves a state of detachment. Detachment is not separation, it's the absence of need. When there is an absence of need, you are not separate from anything. Inherent in your being is pure peace, pure wholeness, and pure happiness. And the play is just a cyclical, karmic dynamic that holds the potential of drawing the mind outward. When the mind is drawn outward, it's egoic mind. When the mind is drawn outward, there is the experience of attachments, things the mind wants to change, things that affect the life. But things that affect the life of the ego have no impact on the feeling of your being. And it brings forth such a sense of joy, a sense of joy. Everything can be falling apart, and there can be a sense of joy. It's been this recent upheaval here, and with all the love with everyone, and the apparent disturbance on the periphery, the sense of wellness and rightness and happiness is unaffected. You begin to realize you need nothing, for your nature is eternally unchanging and only in relationship with itself. It is the forgetting that makes you believe that you are a body. Inherent in the body is programmed karma. Identification with this brings on the experience of desires and needs. But the consciousness that you are, the wholeness that you are, is never altered at all. So it is to let the play do whatever it does. There is a wisdom behind it. When you are in surrender, every time there is the appearance of issue, it is cleansing something. If you hold on to yourself, the feeling of your being, and let go of the habit of latching onto the mind's ideas of what is going on in the external play, when there is a letting go of this, every time a storm appears, it frees something in you. Eventually, there is the discovery you never really were a separate person, that you have always been conscious, you have always been consciousness. And when consciousness recognizes its nature, there is all this joy that is not dependent on anything. It is just the natural state. To the egoic condition, Everything revolves around this mind-body organism. It is a craving machine built on preconditioning, but it does not intersect your being. Your being does not intersect egoic action. Egoic action is an appearance that only seems real when there is this false identification. But your nature, which is purely conscious, is always here. It's the feeling of your being. It's home. It's the sanctuary of home. No matter what is going on, your nature is always there. When you really firmly are rooted in your nature, then you become detached of the mind's needs. You become stripped of everything you thought you had to have. You are offered everything you thought you didn't want, only to strip away all of the karmic tendencies, and it is all being run by the wisdom of consciousness. It's not being run by a character. The character is a pawn. But the wisdom knows how to purify what has forgotten, and the forgetting is the story of me. The story of me is only a story. It arises within consciousness. You can never find the thinker because the separate individual is a mirage, and the attention that goes to the mirage is based on conditioned needs, dependencies, while the nature of your being is free. It's detached from the play such that it can fully embrace it. You cannot fully embrace anything that you are attached to. When there is detachment because you have moved into the inner recesses of your being, there is love for all of it, right here and right now. Can feel the beauty of the field of consciousness. It's here, it's always here. Can feel the infinite nature of the consciousness that you are. It's always here. You can feel the beauty of the heart that is always here. And you can feel a growing strength in the ability to surrender and let the play do its self without the mind's involvement. And there is no doubt you will be tested. Every player is tested. But the test is not set up to cause pain. It is set up to free you. It's set up to free you. Eventually, it does not matter if people like you or hate you, if you are revered or you are looked down upon. Everything that happens is karma. It's all replication. The beauty of who you are is the heart. The heart is in relationship with itself, and itself is infinite. It's infinite. What kind of disturbance can affect that which is infinite? Nothing. Nothing can.